recall, the chapter we were studying was globalization and the Indian economy. And so far, you all know that we have discussed in the last class, we discussed about the factors that have helped globalization. And you know that the factors that helped the globalization was, um, first is the transportation, then there was technology, then there was information and communication technology, and the government policies. And how transport helped in globalization. There are several improvements in transportation technology, and this innovation in transportation technology uh, made much faster delivery of goods across long distances, and that is possible at a lower cost. So you all know that with the advancement in the transportation technology nowadays, we have a high tech ships. We have cargo facilities. You know, goods are placed in containers, and that can be loaded into intact into one ship, and railway plane truck. So the time wasted in loading, unloading, and storing um, got reduced. So the container services has improved transportation rapidly, and it has also led to the huge reduction in port handling and cost, and it increased the speed with which exports can reach market. The children, similarly, the cost of air transport has also fallen, and all this has enabled a greater volume of goods. So, because of improvement in the transportation technology, the volume of the goods to be exported has increased, and also the cost has reduced. So, that is one of the things which lead to the more and more movement of goods between the countries, and which led to the globalization. The second very important factor which lead to the globalization was the technology. And you know, nothing to explain on this, because you know, at modern time we have seen technology has improved a lot, and with the help of the efficient technology, we have robotics, we have assembly line techniques, we have so many uh, equipments. You know, these all equipments replace the manual labor or reduce the manual labor. And with the use of the machines, with the use of the techniques, new technologies, new researchers, the production has not only improved in quality, but the quantity has improved. Now, with the help of a technology, quantity of the product in the market has increased, and because of the rapid increase in the quantity plus the improvement in the quality, the trade and commerce expanded, which led to the globalization. Information technology and telecommunication, played a very important role in expanding the market all around the world. You can purchase any product made in any part of the country, or any part of the world nowadays, and that is because of the information technology and telecommunication. Children, technology in the areas of telecommunication, computers, internet has been changing rapidly. You all know that with the help of, first of all, telephone, then computers and internets, we can communicate anywhere in the world. And telecommunication facilities like telegraph, telephone, mobile phones, fax machine, these are used to contact one another around the world and to access information instantly, and to communicate from remote areas. So from remote areas, somebody can communicate in an industrial area and demand. Internet also allows us to send instant electronic mail. You all know, you send email and talks, that is voicemail. Now, apart from voicemail, at present we all have the video calls. So video call, email, voicemail, these all allowed us to send instant messages, and that is again at a negligible cost, at a very low cost. you know information and communication technology has played a major role in spreading or production of services across country. You can see there is example from your book, and you can see here using IT in globalization. A new a news magazine published for London reader is to be designed and printed in Delhi. So the magazine is from London, but it will be designed and printed in Delhi. So there are distance. London and Delhi are not near; they are apart, miles apart. But the work will be done between London and Delhi. Now, how it will happen? The text of the magazine is sent through the internet. So the publisher has not reached Delhi. Rather, the publisher has sent the text of the magazine through internet to Delhi office. The designer in the Delhi office get order on how to design the magazine from office in London. So telephonically, they have discussed all those designs. The designing is done on computer. You all know that at modern time, all the designings are done on computer. And after the printing, the magazines are sent by air to London. So London got the magazine. Now the payment of the money for designing, for printing is also done from Bank of London to Bank of Delhi, and this is all done through the internet through e-banking. So this is one other example how information and communication technology help in spreading production across the country. Now this is a case of a news magazine. It can be a case of anything: mobile phone, automobile, any electronic equipment, or even a garment. Then we discussed about the liberalization of the foreign trade and foreign investment policies. You know, beta, when we say liberalization or liberal means freedom. Freedom. Government policy plays an important role in improvement of trade and which lead to the globalization. Children, let us return to example of an import of Chinese toys in India. And you all know that Chinese toys flooding the Indian market. So if government of India, suppose, hikes the duty to 200%, hikes the import duty to 200%, what will happen? These traders, traders of the Chinese toy definitely will not like this, because the hike in the duties will lead to the increase in the prices of the Chinese toys. And when the Chinese toys will become more expensive, people will not demand Chinese toys. Rather, the demand for the Indian toys will be increased, and subsequently, the demand for the Chinese toys totally will be eliminated, and this will help this will help Indian toy makers to expand their production and make huge profit. And you know, most recently must have seen that our government has planned that in Gujarat we'll have a biggest toy museum, which will produce near about 11 lakh toys, and about it will invest near about 1500 crore rupees. You know, uh, how government how government restricts the other uh, how government restricts that the import of the other goods in our country, and why do they do so? Now this is one of the way to restrict the movement of the goods from other country, and we call it trade barrier. Now trade barrier means putting taxes on the imports. When you put taxes on the imports, we call it trade barrier. And why it's called trade barrier? Because you know, beta, it restricts the income of inflow of foreign goods. When we put on tax on some foreign goods, it becomes expensive, and that's why the trader do not import it from the other country. This is done first of all to protect domestic industries. The government can use trade barriers to increase or decrease or regulate foreign trade, and to decide what kind of goods and how much of each should come into the country. The children, when India got independence, so you know that when Britishers left India in 1947, Indian economy was in a bad shape. We were Before the arrival of Britishers, we were doing well, but you all know the Britishers, the East India Company, the British government had exploited our economy. So when they left us, we were only the importers of the importers of machine, anything. and we were also only exporter of raw material, and we had industries in pockets. Could have we can at the time we could count the industries on finger. So we were not so good in industrialization. And children, we need to develop. So then prime ministers, the then government decided to put more taxes to restrict the import of the foreign goods, so that Indian industries are protected. And that's why during that time, so that the Indian industries should be protected from the competition of world market and they should grow, our government has put trade barriers. They have practiced a closed economy in which domestic production were given encouragement and protection from the foreign goods. But children, days have passed, and you all know that in the 1991, government of India, led by PB Narasimha Rao ji, uh, started the policy of liberalization. Now, why the policy of liberalization? You all know that to liberate the economy so that anybody can invest. So, first of all, the government removed the barriers or restrictions set by the government, and this is called as liberalization. Now, with the help of this policy, businessmen and traders were allowed to make decisions freely about what they wish to import or what they wish to export. The government imposed much less restrictions than before, and is therefore said to be more liberal. So government became more liberal. So this attracted foreign goods in India, and foreign goods in India, you all know that India was flooded with the foreign goods, and now we have, as a consumer, we have a lot of choice. The children, uh, we have done that part, and this is a question time for you. So I'll ask some question to you. This is first question. What do you understand by liberation of the foreign trade? This is the first question I'll ask. Then second question, what was the reason for putting barriers to foreign trade and foreign investment by the Indian government, and why did it wish to remove this barrier now? And the final question I'll ask you is, why do developed countries want developing countries to liberalize their trade and investment? What do you think should the developing country demand in return?